because I'm going to tell y'all how I really looked at the pre-notice of firing the missiles at the United States forces in the Middle East. I looked at it as pretty much, Mr. President, this is the Iranians here, and we're going to fire at U.S. citizens, people that are people of your own country, your countrymen. We're going to fire at them, and if you can stop the missiles, that's good. But if you can't, we're going to kill them. And then the president said, "Okay, that's fine," and we're good with that. Pretty much, in my opinion, the president pretty much said, okay, that's fine if you put my own citizens and service members at danger. It's fine if some of them end up getting killed. I don't really think that'd be too much of a bad thing, really. Like, that's really how I took it. I didn't like that because these soldiers aren't just soldiers. They're people. They're citizens of the United States that are doing a job in the armed forces. It is a job, but at the same time, we're supposed to largely treat it like it's a job, not like they're cannon fodder. And I don't like the idea of U.S. forces being fired at all. So I generally would have told them not to do that, and if they even tried to do that, that's going to be a horrendously bad idea, and we're going to take that as a response to further escalate the situation, not to de-escalate it. That's what I would have said. So then the Iranians either would have attacked or they wouldn't. We wouldn't be able to know what decision they would have made, but I generally didn't like the idea of acting like an attempted attack on U.S. armed forces that could have resulted in their deaths. It's just a nothing burger. I didn't really like that because it seems to trivialize the lives of all of the service members that were at those air bases in Qatar that came under attack that night at Al Adid, in my opinion. But right now, there would be no ceasefire if I was president. There would be continued strikes, and the Iranians could either give in, because when we provide ultimatums, people have to understand, just to move on to this really quickly, when we provide ultimatums, that's what they are. They're ultimatums. They can either accept the ultimatum, or we will go to whatever lengths the country needs to ensure that they will adhere to that ultimatum. Whether they're living or not to see that is up to them. But we will go to any lengths to ensure that the ultimatum is accepted and followed through to the letter. There is no moment where we go, okay, well, now that they've gotten their anger out, it's time for peace. Oh, hell no. There's going to be a time where they come to the United States, groveling at our diplomats' feet in Muscat and Oman, and they are going to beg for the United States to stop striking them, and they will accept our terms happily at that point, or else they will suffer the full weight and might of the U.S. Armed Forces until they eventually relent. That's how I'd view it. It's not up to them whether they want it to end or not. It's up to us whether it's going to end or not. They can either meet our demands, or we'll see that every single one of their top officials in the Iranian government isn't alive to see that day. It'll be up to them. But I'm the person who doesn't like to sit there and start a conflict and then end it immediately to try and possibly get a Nobel Peace Prize. The prizes and shit don't really matter. What matters is that we're doing the best things for the country, and the best thing for the country, in my mindset, is to make sure that we make the enemies of this republic understand that the only reason that little Ayatollah fella is alive and his little hairs on his beard have not been singed by hellfire is because the United States allows him to survive. It's not that he has any ability to do it. It's because he has been given a benevolent chance to survive, but if he wants to continue to live, he's going to have to play the game by our rules. That's how I generally look at it. But I hope that does address it the best I can, at least in my opinion. I do thank you for the support, and I hope